Hello everyone. So in today's session, we will be learning about the new concept in multithreading. The new concept is when we are executing multiple threads simultaneously and we want a particular thread to pause its execution for maybe any of the XYZ reasons. How we are going to achieve that if a particular thread wants to pause its execution for some time. How we are going to achieve that? Let's just check that out. So first of all, I will be just writing a class over here which is extending the thread class. I will be defining the task of the thread using the run method, and in this run method I will be defining some task. So for now I will be defining the for loop over here, and I will tell it to execute around 5 times and print some statement over here. The statement which I will be printing is I will be printing the current executing thread's name. Okay, so that we can get which thread is currently executing. So for now, T1 is equal to new. This. Similarly, T2 is equal to new. Even if you want to create another thread, we can also do that. It's up to you how many threads you want to create. So I will just say T1 dot start, T2 dot start, and T3 dot start. Let's just first check out how these 3 threads are going to execute. See, thread 0, thread 1 and thread 2. All of these threads are executing simultaneously, and that is why our output is not accurate. It is just different every time. So because each of the thread has been executing its work, if I want a particular thread to pause its execution, how am I supposed to do that? I want, when I have defined the task of this thread over here, all of the threads task I have been defined in this run method, right? So now I will tell, or I will write over a statement here, that is thread dot sleep. So first of all, what does the sleep method do? In thread class, we have a sleep method defined. So what does the sleep method is? It actually pauses the currently thread to execute. In short, we can say for particular amount of time, or temporarily we can say it pauses its execution. Up to which it is going to execute, that we will define. Well, there are 2 methods for the sleep method given up to. One is long millis and the second is exactly mentioning the time, the millisecond and the nanosecond. For now, I will be taking only milliseconds. So I'm saying that after 2000 milliseconds, each thread, whichsoever thread will execute this run method, will firstly enter into the sleeping state, will pause its execution for accurate 2000 milliseconds. As soon as the time is over, they can come out of the sleeping state and then will start its execution back. This is the procedure. This is the way how the sleep method works. Now, some important points to note down. Number 1 point. For example, if this thread 0 has been started, okay, thread 0 has been started, it has called its run method, it will start the execution of this for loop. Here it has executed thread.sleep. It means thread T1 will enter into the sleeping state. Now it will be in the sleeping state for 2000 milliseconds, or if any other thread will not invoke it. Any other thread can also invoke or interrupt that thread. That is also a possibility. But most of the times when the time gets finished up, then only the T1 thread can come back and start its execution from where it has stopped. But the point here is, if it has come back and if another thread was executing at that point, from the sleeping state, where is this thread supposed to go? Is it going to again the running state? No, it will enter into the ready state, because the CPU scheduler will now decide when will be the time of this T1 thread to execute again. Hope you understand this concept. Now, this thread.sleep method, because this sleep method is a check, it will throw you a checked exception. So therefore, I will surround it with try catch. I hope everyone knows about the checked and the unchecked exception. So now, again I will repeat it. Whichsoever thread will execute first will enter into the sleep state, be there in the sleeping state for 2000 milliseconds. 2000 milliseconds will get over, and that thread will come out of the sleeping state and enter into the ready state. When thread scheduler decides this particular thread to execute, do its execution, then only it will start its execution. And in the sleeping state, what this thread is going to do, it is just pausing itself for work. That is it. Let's now run the program and check out the answer. So you can see how the threads are going to execute. Each of the thread, when it is going to execute, I will just increase the time, okay? 4000 milliseconds. So each of the thread, there is, we can say, see, thread 0, thread 1, now again they have paused their execution and then they have started. There will be like a fraction of seconds of difference between all of these threads to get executed. So every time this pausing of threads is being taken place over here. Hope you guys understand the concept of sleep method. Thank you very much.